Alright everybody, good morning, good afternoon, good night. My name is Reed Herbie, and today I will be teaching you how to solve your notorious Megaminx puzzle. This puzzle has 12 sides and is very similar to a 3x3 on how you solve it. It just has a lot of extra steps on all of these different sides, and it will be similar to the way you solve a Rubik's Cube, and the last layer will contain one new algorithm. I'm trying to get this as easy as beginner method as possible so you can learn this super easy, maybe learn a couple algorithms after, but this is the bare minimum on how to solve your Megaminx puzzle. Let's get started. So, the first thing that you're going to need to know is how this differs from the 3x3, notation-wise. So, notation is just a little bit different on a Megaminx. It has a couple new moves, like you will never use down in your algorithms. You won't use wide moves, but what you will use is U2s being prime or not. So if I do a U2 prime on this, I see the blue piece moves over here. So I do a U2 prime, it moves over here. But when I do a U2 without a prime, which is moving it clockwise, it does not move it into this spot. So you need to focus on that. So you can either do a U2 prime or a U3. And I'll be going over which one to use, and it's usually the prime move of your U2. The other two faces or notation you need to learn is back right and back left. So back right follows the same rules as right, where this is back right and this is back right inverted. But this, again, is back left and back left inverted. This will not be used in our method, but that was just a little bonus on how to read that notation. Now let's get started to our first step, which is making the white cross or star. Okay, so this is very similar to what a 3x3 is, where you line up all the edges in the cross like this. So it doesn't matter where your corners are, you don't need to worry about that yet. So as you can see, I have one edge lined up with its center. Now I just need to look for more. I see this, I spot this white and red center. So I can move it by doing a left prime, a U, a left, and then moving it over to its center, and then bringing it up so it moves part of our star. Now, I'm just going to look for more of those pieces. I spot this one, which is a purple edge. Now I need to move it over to purple. So I do a U prime and then insert it like this. So you just bring it down to its center and move it down and move this piece back up if there is already a cross piece in. So now I see this one is flipped on its edge, so I'm going to move it up, line it up with its center, and move it in like that. Now, there's one left, which is the red one. Actually, there are two left. So I'm going to move this red one out. Now I'm going to look for that center, which is all the way over here. So how do I get this piece over here? You're just going to, what I do is call bringing him up the mountain. So I'm going to do a U2, just line him up with that center and bring it all the way up. So now we only have one edge left, which is the yellow one right here. So I'm going to move it up. I see my cross center is here, or my star center, and then I move it down, align it, so I can move this back. So that is a pretty easy step. It's very similar to a 3x3. I don't think you needed instructions, but that's just how to make the star on a Megaminx. Now what we're going to do is solve the first two layers on our Megaminx. So this is very oddly similar to how a 3x3 works, where you're going to solve the first layer by inserting pieces in. So I find this piece, and I'm going to put it in here by moving it away, bringing this slot up, moving it back into that slot, and bringing it down. Now I just follow that same step with your other edges, but you can learn a faster method, which is F2L. If you already know that, then I'm going to teach you how to apply that. So I'm going to do a purple and yellow edge here. So I spot this corner here, and I look for that other edge that I can line it up with. So usually I would insert it, but now I'm looking for that edge. I see it here, so I'm going to move it all the way up, And now it looks like I do have a 3-move case because this is facing that way, so I can just line it up, insert it. But that's just, I hope you can get that. Otherwise, then just use your beginner's method. But now I'm going to look for my other edge piece that can go in here. So again, I turn it away, bring this side up to line it up, and then insert it like so. Alright. I have this piece in already, so I see this edge needs to go in this slot. So I'm going to turn it away, bring the edge corner up, move this away so I can line them up, and then insert it like normal. So now I have most of my first 2 layers solved. I'm going to do F2L on this edge because I see it's a pretty easy one because I already have the corner out. So I see I need a green, dark green, and red edge, so that should be all the way over here. So I'm going to move it up a bunch. It doesn't matter actually where you put it because it probably won't mess up your white center because this will be usually the only move that will mess it up. So I see this piece here and this piece here. I can't line them up like this, so I'm going to hide this piece, bring it up. So then actually it does not line up. So I'm going to hide it again, do a U2, bring it up, and then I see this slot. So it's a 3-move case. I bring it in just so I can insert it like so. So there's one more piece left. I'm just going to use beginner's method for this piece. I find our piece. I'm going to insert it just like a 3x3. Again, this is really just, I see this pair, I'm going to move it away, open this slot up, put it in the slot, and bring it back down, just like a 3x3. So I see this piece. I'm going to bring it all the way up. I see that it needs to go in this slot, so I'm going to move it away, make that pair, and insert it. So now you should have all of the first 2 layers of your Megaminx completed. Now let's move on to making the yellow star and first 2 layers of that. So the first thing when making our yellow star, as you can see, I have 3 of our edge pieces made. So we need to, this will always happen when you solve the first 2 layers. Now you need to be just a little bit more cautious on how you bring pieces up so you don't mess up this white side. So now I see this is in, so I can just twist it once to put it in place. So now I look for another edge. I see it here, so I'm going to line it up with the center, bring it up, and then bring that back because it could have messed up our white cross and first 2 layers. So now we have our yellow cross made. Now what we're going to do is just use the same thing that we've been doing for the first 2 layers of the white and your 3x3 and just apply it to how you solve your Megaminx. So I'm just going to keep putting pieces in. Again, being cautious of your white edge. So I'm looking for more pieces. I see this one. So it's actually a flipped edge, so I can do F2L on this one. And it's in, just like that. I don't think I need to teach you more than what you already know for making your white F2L. Please let me know if there is a tutorial that you want, and I will probably make it, because I don't really have a lot of video ideas. Okay, so now we have our white and our yellow first 2 layers finished. Now what we're going to do is do exactly the same thing for all of these centers or faces. But we have to do it in an order. So I've done yellow. Now I do purple, green, red, blue. And then that'll leave me with this left. So again, I'm not just solving the face, I'm solving the first 2 layers of it. So let's do purple. So I'm looking for a purple edge. Anywhere, there it is. So that's our only edge we need to make, so I can just bring it up to its center and then move that in. So now I see this edge, or corner actually, is going to be put in here. So again, I'm just going to put it in like that. It's going to be pretty simple. And now what we're going to do is look for that other edge, which is right here, and put it in this slot. So I'm going to do this and put it in. So then we only have one more piece or 2 pieces to put in our final slot. Let's move this one, which is the light blue and orange piece, into its position like that. And it looks like I do have a flipped edge, so I'm going to replace it with this edge. And then put this in its correct slot, not flipped. So now, as you can see, we have this face and this face. Now we're just going to move on to dark green. Let's do that. Okay, so I'm looking for that edge piece. I find it here. I'm going to line up with the center and then bring that all the way over. So as you can see, that's finished. I'm going to, this edge is going to be put in like so. And now we're going to look for that other piece, which is going to be the tan and light blue, and I see it here. So I'm going to put that in there like that. And we have our dark green edge left. I see it here. It's already made with its pair, which is good. So I'm going to look for the slot, and I'm going to put it in the slot. So now, as you can see, I have 1, 2, 3. Now I just need to move on to the last 2. Now these can be a little bit tricky, so let's just move on to do that in our next clip. Okay, so as you can see, I have 3 done. Now I can choose which one to do. I'm going to do red first. So I see this is already lined up, so I can put that in. And then I see this is on the bottom of where it needs to go, so I'm going to move it away, bring this slot down, move this twice, so I can bring it back up to insert it once more. After that, I see it is already lined up our piece to go in here, so I'm going to make that pair and put it in. Alright, so now once you finish that, you're going to put this last corner in. So this will not affect the yellow side, but this probably will. So as you can see, I inserted this edge, but yellow is now messed up, and that is okay. So now what you're going to want to do is just solve yellow back like normal. So I see this pair is already made, so I'm going to put that in. And then I'm going to put this piece in just like normal, like that. So now we have all of what we have done and yellow back. So now I see all but one of my corners are in for the first 3 layers. So I'm going to insert that corner and then insert that last edge like so. So what that did is that solved everything but the last layer of your Megaminx. Now this part is definitely the hardest part of learning your Megaminx, but today I'm going to be teaching you in only 2 algorithms. Let's do this. Okay, so the last layer of your Megaminx is very similar to how you solve your 3x3, where you align your edges, you solve your edges, and then you line up everything else by permuting it. Like that. But in Megaminx, it's a bit different, and it's going to be a little bit easier because you only have to learn 2 algorithms. So the first thing that we're going to be doing is making our cross with the same algorithm that we have learned in our 3x3, where we do front, right, up, right inverted, up inverted, front inverted, until it is solved. So I'm going to do that again, front, right, up inverted, front inverted, and as you can see, our cross is made, and this is probably one of the easiest steps. If it isn't, then I don't know what to tell you, but now what we're going to be doing is aligning all of our edges. So as you can see, I have 3 edges that need to be moved around, and 2 are in the right place. So you're looking for 2 in its right place. It doesn't matter where they are on the cube. Like, as you can see, this can be it, or this can be it. I'm going to choose this. And what you're going to be doing is doing this algorithm, which you should very well know because it is just your right soon algorithm. So you're going to hold it so you can turn the face without affecting these 2 and holding the 2 like this and do right, up, right inverted, up, right, up 2 inverted, right inverted. So what that did is that cycled the edges. So I may have to do this multiple times, so I'm going to do it once. Again. And now those are solved. Okay, now we're moving on to corner alignment. Let's do this. All right, so our next step is getting 2 corners aligned. So we already have 2 corners aligned, but that's not what we want, because as you can see, this can be twisted into its right place by just twisting a corner, but that's not what you can do. That's illegal. And this is in its right place, but they are not next to each other. They need to be right next to each other like this. So to do this, to get 2 edges solved next to each other, I'm going to do this algorithm. I'm going to bring the left side up and do a U2. Bring the right side up, do a U2 prime. Then bring the left side back down, do a U2, and then bring the right side down. So what that did is, if you can adjust it back to where it was, it did not do anything, because now I still have 2 edges solved, but they're not next to each other. So I'm going to do the same thing. Bring the left side, bring the left side up, do a U2, bring the right side up, do a U2 prime, bring the left side down, do a U2, the right side down, and then AUF. So now we have 2 edges. It does not matter if they're twisted, but they are in their right place because they align with the colors they are. So now that we have 2, we're going to do the same algorithm, but we're going to keep in mind that these 2 are in the safety zone. So when we do the algorithm, it keeps them solved. So we're going to cycle these 3 edges around with the same algorithm. Left side up, U2. Right side up, U2 prime. Left side down, U2. Right side down. So now I'm going to do a U2 to adjust it. It looks like they're not in the right place, so I'm going to do that one more time. So there we go. Now we have all but 2 corners solved. As you can see, this one and this one just need to be twisted. So in this state, we're going to do the right sexy move, which is right, up, inverted, until your corner is on the down face. So I look for the corner on their bottom right, and then do the sexy move. 1, 2, and now it is on the bottom. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to adjust it by doing sequential D moves until I have an unsolved corner near me on that last side. So I'm going to do that one more time. So repeat right sexy move until that corner is solved, and that should solve the entirety of your Megaminx puzzle. So now I'm going to be doing some example solves of the last layer, so let's move on to that, just to solidify your knowledge on how you did that. Okay, so our last layer is probably scrambled from now, and now I'm going to be doing is call 1 or 2 example solves. So I'm going to make the cross. I see there's only 1 edge solved, so I'm going to do a sexy front prime until I got 2 like a line. Hold it like this. Do a front sexy twice front prime to get that in place, so I can look for 2 pieces that can line up. So I see that none are lined up, so I do right sexy, or actually right soon, until I keep looking for the ones in place. I look like they're not in place. 2 are like this, but they need to be next to each other, so I do another right soon. And now I have 2 next to each other. So now 1 more right soon, 1 to 2 more right soons, and that should do it. So I do a right soon, nope, 1 more, and that should align all of our edges. So now I see that I have 2 corners already in their right place, so I'm going to do that same thing, like that. Looks like they're still not. I need to cycle these one more time, holding these in the safe zone. So now I have all but 2 or all of the corners. It doesn't matter how many corners. I'm going to flip it over. So this is on this side, and I'm going to do sexy move till they're in place. I'm going to do that one more time. And now that should solve your puzzle. Moving on to the second example. Okay, so now I'm going to see that one edge is in its right place or oriented, and then I'm going to make a line and finally a cross by doing that same algorithm. Now I'm going to line up two edges. Oh, it looks like I got a skip where all of our edges are oriented. But now I see that there's only one corner oriented in this entire case. So again, I'm going to bring the left side up, U2, right side, U2 prime, left side down, U2, right side down, U2. And now I have two, so I'm going to put those in our safety zone, do that algorithm one more time, one or twice. And there we go. So now we have most of our, or all of our corners oriented. So I'm going to put this down with probably, with blue facing up. And then I'm going to repeat right sexy until the corner is down. Move the down face. Do that same thing. Move the down face. Same thing. Move the down face. And now you should have the final U2 to solve your puzzle. Alright. Alright, everybody, so I really hope you liked this tutorial. If you'd like to see a dot pattern on the Megaminx, please let me know in the comments below. And make sure to leave a like, subscribe, ask me any questions about this tutorial. And I will see you all later in the next video. Bye.